Welcome back to my channel, and today I have a story to tell you guys. Now, yes, as you can see it in the title, I was involved with the cult at one point of my life. And today is the day that I expose this cult so that you guys can avoid these people. The cult that I was involved was called the ICC Church. Now, the ICC Church stands for the International Church of Christ. And the founder of this church uses Christianity to control and manipulate people, and they basically turn Christianity into a cult, basically. And now these people often target college students because they would go around campus trying to recruit students. And this group of people are basically disguising themselves as Christian, but they're basically the legalistic version of it. And these people are very toxic and manipulative. And the ICC church already has a bad reputation, so that is why it is also hard to tell who is in this group because they would disguise themselves as different names. So that is a brief background, and here is my story and encounter with this group. So now let's go back to a couple years ago in the summer of 2022. So this was around the month of either June or July. Now, during this time of my life, I just finished my junior year of college and I am about to enter my senior year of college. I was also working that summer and I was a peer advisor. And here's a picture of me being a peer advisor. So my job was basically welcoming freshmen to our school and showing them around campus and helping them select classes. And it's a really fun job because I like to help people and I like welcoming. I like to help welcome these new freshmen and new students that will be coming onto our campus. So yeah, it was a really fun job for me overall. So one day at work, I was doing my usual task of helping freshmen choose their class, and then after that was done, it was lunchtime. So, during my lunch, I went to my school food court and I got myself a Subway sandwich. So I sat down and ate my sandwich when this person came up to me. Now, I'm not gonna use his real name, but let's call this person Eli. So, at first when Eli approached me, I was a little bit annoyed because I am on lunch break, and when you're on lunch break, I only have 30 minutes to eat, so I was on the clock. But I tried being nice, and I also introduced myself. So then Eli talked about his church and talks about the Bible study he does, and everything seems fine and normal. And then after that brief introduction, he just sends me his church Instagram, which here's a picture of it. So yeah, after he sends me his church Instagram, nothing really happened after that. I didn't reach out, and he also didn't reach out. So the rest of that year in 2022 was pretty silent. But please keep in mind about the Instagram that Eli gave me because that become so important later on in the story. So now we fast forward to about a year later in spring of 2023. So this is around April. And during this time of my life, I am now a second semester of my senior year of college. Now, during this time, I didn't have a job because I wanted to focus on my classes. So I already have quitted my peer advisor job, to fully focus on school. And, I also wanted to finish strong too. But, since I didn't have a job at the time, I wanted to make some extra cash. So, I sold candies to students to basically make an income. And here's a picture of me with candies. So yeah, I was walking around campus trying to sell candies to students when this person came up to me and he wanted to introduce himself on campus. So I'm not gonna use his real name, but let's call him Jim. So he introduced himself as Jim, and I asked him about what was the name of his club. At first he seems hesitant to tell me about his club name because he said that it wasn't an official club on campus. Uh, since according to him, he said that he didn't fill out the paperwork on time, or the club leader didn't really fill out the paperwork on time. So, okay, I thought this was probably a new club on campus, so I didn't really think much of it. I also asked for their club social media account, and he said that he didn't have it either. So, okay, I thought it's a new club, so they probably haven't set it up yet. So, I kind of brushed it off. I then asked him if he wanted to buy candies, and he bought a candy bag from me, and that felt good because I made a sale, I made money, and whenever I made money, I always feel good. So then he invited me for a Bible study, and I agreed to it. Later that night, Jim texted me trying to set up a time for the following week to do a Bible study. And, I asked him again about the name of his club, and he finally responded saying that the name of this club is called Life, and it stands for Love is for Everyone, which was weird because, when we were in person, he was hesitant to tell me the name of the club, but when we got through text, he decided to tell me. So, I thought that was a little bit odd. But another thing that was really weird about this club, um, was that they didn't really have a set time and day on when they are meeting, because the Bible study really depends on when you're available. So I guess in this case, it's whenever I was available, they were going to do it. Because, a legitimate club would have a set time and day for a meeting. And I knew I should have taken this as a red flag. But yeah, now we fast forward about a week later, and this is when the Bible study was happening. At first it seemed normal, but inside of me, I felt something was off. I don't exactly know why, but when you get that feeling that something's off, but don't really know how to describe it, that was basically how I was feeling. So yeah, we met up at at the school library, and there were four of us, including me, on our first meetup. The topic of the first meeting talked a lot about discipleship, and they also questioned me where my relationship with God is. Now, again, I felt like this was normal, and but there was one part that I feel was a little off, and that is when Jim starts raising his voice during the studies, like in the middle of teaching. Now, keep in mind that we were all in the library, so of course I felt a little uncomfortable there. But he was probably passionate during the study. But again, raising your voice in a library setting is just really inappropriate. Now, at the time, I didn't really think much of it, and by the end of it, I scheduled for. They wanted to schedule for another meeting that following week. So, all right, a week has gone by, and I didn't really remember much from the second meeting other than they wanted to meet up in the same week. And also keep in mind that these people meet up very often, so uh, this meeting can feel very overwhelming because they meet up so often. Now, this was around finals week, and I told Jim through text that I didn't want to attend any more meeting because I wanted to focus on my finals. And these people would guilt trip you if you didn't want to do Bible study anymore, and they make you think that you're a bad person for not attending these Bible study. So then when I told him that I wasn't able to go, he was, questioning why I didn't want to go anymore. Then, I straight up told him that I wanted to focus on my finals, and I didn't need to owe him any further explanation. So then, after that, I didn't really hear back from Jim for a while. Now, we fast forward to the fall of 2023. So this is now around October. So about 4 to 5 months have passed now. So then, out of nowhere, Jim reached out to me again, asking how I was doing and if I wanted to do Bible study again. And at this point of my life, I was already done with school and I already graduated. I was already working a full-time job, and he then wanted to introduced me to someone that does Bible study for people after college. I said yes because I wasn't really meeting people my own age anymore, so I gave it a try. He connected me with this person, and we agreed to meet up in a coffee shop for another Bible study. So then, when that day came, I was waiting in the coffee shop, and a familiar face showed up. And the person that showed up was Eli, and from the person that I have met in the beginning of the story. So we meet again, and we do this Bible study. And after that, he invited me to do another meeting with him the next day. And now, keep in mind, these people meet up very regularly. So again, it gets very overwhelming as well. I told him that I couldn't, and maybe some other time. So then during that week, I've been thinking a lot about this club because something inside of me is telling me that something with this group is off. And then one night I woke up at 3 a.m. and for some reason I couldn't fall back asleep, and it was one of those late night thoughts and thinking. So during that time, I was thinking a lot about this group of people and really overanalyzed my interaction with them and about why I feel so off with these people. Then all of a sudden, I remembered the Instagram account that Eli gave me in the beginning of the story. So I got on my phone, I went on the Instagram page, and on that Instagram account, I saw a link. When I opened that link, it pointed me to the ICC church website, and my heart dropped at that point. I realized at that moment it was a cult and I needed to get out of there ASAP. A couple days later, I messaged Eli and confronted him about how this is a cult and I want it out. I first showed him a forum on Reddit that exposes his cult, and I forwarded that Reddit page to him. Now the crazy part about this is that after I had confronted him, he defended himself that being in a cult is a good thing, which is absolutely crazy to me. And here's a screenshot of that interaction. So after that, I told him that I didn't want to be part of this anymore, and I have left as soon as I found out that this was a cult. So now let's go over the lesson learned. So now, yeah, so now we should go over the mistake that I have made so that you guys don't have to make the same mistakes as me. Now, first, if you see anyone that is part of the ICC church, just run away. These people are very, again, manipulative and toxic. They target mostly college students to be. They target mostly college students, so if you're in college, just be very careful of them. Now, the first mistake is that when someone approaches you on campus and asks you to join their club, please make sure that their club is verified on campus, and please check if they have an Instagram before you go. If they make an excuse about not having an Instagram or that they are not verified on campus, then you should probably not even join in the first place. Now, another mistake is, ignoring your guts. If simply you have a bad feeling about something, then please listen to it because you are most likely correct. Also, would like to say that I also did get lucky because I was never really too involved with this cult, and I also found out pretty quick that this was a cult, so I got out pretty quick. So that part I would say I got lucky on. But this whole time I felt like I was playing a game of espionage because I knew from the beginning that they were hiding something, but at the end I found out who they really are. Thanks for watching my video, and I hope you find this video entertaining and educational. Peace.